Hey guys, today is Thursday, April 30th. Today is an A day. And rather than a quote, I have a poem that Miss Warzatoa actually shared with me. And it's pretty appropriate for our time. In my classroom, time is frozen, notes left on the board, papers left unfinished, pens scattered in the drawers. There was no chance to end class in the proper way. Now I try to think back. Did I smile enough that day? Distant learning now is all that we can do. I'll try my best to teach them, even though my heart's in two. Half is in that empty room, half of it at home, working hard to push through as we're dealing with unknowns. When it's safe for us to go back, I will show a lot more grace and be thankful to have students filling up that space. So for your agenda today, you have independent reading for 20 minutes, vocabulary, read aloud, mini lesson, and independent work time. You'll notice that today's calendar is your mini lesson is to highlight and annotate a song. Remember, when you're doing independent reading, 20 minutes reading your own book or any of the things that are on the list. And actually, if you think about it, when you're doing your science homework and have to read all that stuff for Amplify, that could be your 20 minutes of reading too. I just want you to read. So today for your vocabulary, you are doing a Kahoot challenge. All you have to do is press the link and it will take you to the challenge. I did some different questions this time. So you'll have to really know your words to do well on the challenge. Here is your read aloud for today. It's also found on Classroom under Virtual Read Aloud. And then to our mini lesson. Today I want to teach you that good readers inquire by making observations and notice what poems look like, what topics they cover, and different aspects of writing. They may be different than usual. So we're going to be taking a look at song lyrics. So one way we can do this is by exploring song lyrics and highlighting and annotating literary devices that we notice the author using. Now, we've talked about a lot of these literary devices. We've used them in class. We've talked about personification, metaphors, similes, repetition, mood, theme, idioms, imagery, onomatopoeias, foreshadowing. So you guys have a lot of those in your bag to help you out when you are looking at your song lyrics that you choose. So one way we can do this is exploring song lyrics and looking at why the author is using them. So if we look at the poetic devices, alliteration we know is using a certain sound or letter over and over. So the gracious green grass grew quickly. Remember, similes use like or as, so she had a smile like the sun. Metaphors are just comparing something. So her eyes as bright as the sun, which to me, that is a simile. So I would use it as the sun is a light. Personification stood there motionless, lifeless, occasionally shining a bright beam of light. Onomatopoeia, remember, are those sound words, whiz, pop. They're going to have some rhyming in there. The crazy lady was very lazy. And then you have the repetition, imagery, and symbolism. So we're going to do it together. I went into your poetry packet or poetry anthology and pulled out a song. The song that I pulled out was What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. So what we're going to do together is we're going to go through this and I'm going to show you exactly what you will be doing today for your formative grade. So you'll notice that you have the song lyrics on one side and you have an open space on the other side. The open space is where you're going to take your annotations. So the first thing that I did was I highlighted. So I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. So for me, that was imagery. It allows us to actually see what he's talking about in our minds when he describes the colors of the trees and roses. So you'll notice that I highlighted it yellow, but I also highlighted my annotation the same color. The reason why I did this is because the column does not allow you to do your annotations right next to it, like if you were to writing it on your own. So highlighting it allows me to see when I'm grading that, okay, you took this and this is where you were talking about it. The next thing I did was repetition. So I highlighted everything in blue that was repetition. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. You'll notice that it repeats itself 4 times within the song. So repetition, having I think to myself, what a wonderful world repeat really keeps a lightheartedness to the song. The song wants you to remember that even if there's hatred and violence in the world, there is always something there that is beautiful. So that's why I think the author used repetition. The next thing I looked at was some of the things and symbolism within. So the colors of the rainbow so pretty in the sky. I said that this line might mean that even though we go through storms in our lives, they will clear up and we will have something to look forward to. Remember, you have to do some digging, deeper thinking when you are analyzing things. Then I found I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. I put this line symbolizes the hope of a new generation. They will be able to learn from the past mistakes and how it will change the future. So it's something to look forward to and having that hope that they're not going to relive what has been going on in the past. And last but not least, I looked at rhyme scheme. If you look up here, you'll notice that his rhyme scheme is usually AAB. So the first ending of the first 2 sentences rhyme. So to you, white knight, and then sky by, do you, grow no. So the rhyme scheme for this song for the first stanza is AAB, the second one's AAB, the third one is AABB, and the fourth one is AABB. So that was just something that you can look at with poetry. The one thing that you should know about is that this was written and recorded during the civil rights movement and segregation. So now that you know that, some of the things that he is saying in the song really makes sense when you're looking at hatred and violence and looking at what is more important in life and that there is beauty in the world. So for your independent work time, you need to go to Google Classroom today and Poetry 2020. You are going to be highlighting and annotating one song. You cannot use What a Wonderful World. You will highlight the lines in the song, and then the column next to it, you are going to annotate your thoughts. Remember, highlight your annotations to match the lines in the song. This will be due on Friday. Obviously, you have Friday to work on it, so I will be looking at them on Saturday. So make sure that you go in and look at one song's lyrics. So today, you need to practice vocabulary on Kahoot, listen to the read aloud, highlight and annotate the song, and then read for 20 minutes. Today, my office hours are 8 to 9:30 and 12 to 1:30. And I thank all of those that joined me for the Google Meet yesterday. Hopefully, I see more of you next week on Tuesday from 2 to 2:30. Have a great day. If you have questions, make sure you ask, and I will talk to you soon.